stretching. As we go through life on a day-to-day basis, we are oftentimes dealing with aches and pains. A lot of times these problems can be alleviated with simple stretches. Today we're going to go through 5 stretches that will be beneficial for the general population to make sure that we can reduce those pains and increase range of motion to be able to do our activities more efficiently without feeling the pain or discomfort. First stretch we'll be focusing on here is for the hamstrings. Hamstring muscle is in the back of the thigh and is in charge of hip extension. In order to stretch that muscle, we need to go into hip flexion. So I'm going to have Jason here scoot to the edge of the chair, and we're going to go ahead and have him extend his right leg. Digging the heels into the ground and pointing the toes up allows that knee to be completely extended, so that way we can stretch the hamstring muscle in the back of the thigh. I'll have you go ahead and sit up nice and tall for me so that your posture is good in the back. You're going to keep this nice and flat. Slouching will actually take away tension as the hip connects the hamstring muscle just at the pelvic joint. So making sure to sit up nice and tall, I'll have you now bend forward at the hips slowly and stop at the point where you feel the stretch strong but comfortable. He's going to feel that stretch right in the back of the leg here, and he's going to hold this stretch for 30 seconds in a static position, just like this, not bouncing back and forth, as ballistic stretches have been shown to cause damage and can also cause increased pain and discomfort. Keeping the static stretch here is the best way to loosen that tissue and allow it to stretch during this 30-second interval. And go ahead and relax. The next muscle we'll be stretching is the piriformis. This muscle is important to stretch because it is located so close to the sciatic nerve. And this is a deep rotator muscle located right back here, just lateral to the glutes. In order to stretch that muscle, we lay down on our back, and the side that you're stretching, you actually want to place the ankle of that side on the opposite knee. And what we're going to do here now is pull from the back of the thigh toward the chest. This here will stretch that piriformis, which is located right back here, pulling that stretch here statically without bouncing for 30 seconds. Pulling it so that it's strong but comfortable, and making sure that your head is rested flat on the table and that you're just pulling at the back of the thigh, just to your tolerance. And after 30 seconds, you can relax. The next muscle we'll be stretching is the gluteus maximus. As we're all familiar with that muscle, it's in close proximity to the piriformis and will be stretched in a similar fashion. We'll start by laying here on the table, and the knee of the side that you're going to be stretching, you're going to bring toward your chest. The opposite leg will be flat, allowing you to stretch this as best as possible. This stretch here will be felt right in the glutes area, and as the glutes perform hip extension, we are just in the opposite position here, hip flexion, in order to stretch that tissue. Here, we're holding the same stretch here for 30 seconds, and then nice and still, keeping it static so that we do not cause damage. And relax. The next muscle we'll be stretching is our quadricep muscle group in the front of the thigh, and we'll also be stretching the hip flexor, which is attached just above the hip. The quadricep muscle attaches below the knee and attaches down here just past it. Hip flexor attaches above the hip, so it's a little bit different when we do that stretch. How we'll be doing this, I'll have her go ahead and place her left foot up here while holding onto the chair for support. Keeping the right leg nice and straight and moving the hips forward allows her to feel the stretch down in the quadriceps muscle here, down close by the knee. We hold this stretch here for 30 seconds as well, strong but comfortable without bouncing. In order to stretch the hip flexor muscle, we'll have her gradually move her right foot forward, and then we'll have her bend her right knee slowly. And she'll feel the stretch a little bit higher in the hip flexor. Noting that we hold that stretch for 30 seconds as well without bouncing. Allowing the muscle to stretch below for the quadriceps and above for the hip flexor. And relax. The next set of stretches that we will accomplish here are important for neck stability and for tension. A lot of people deal with tension around the neck and often are unable to turn their head as well because of that tension and restriction in range of motion. In order to address that tension and restriction in range of motion, we stretch out the upper traps located on either side of the neck and also the levator scap, which raises the scapula, located on either side of the neck as well, where we hold a lot of our tension. So we'll be having him go through this stretch here first for the upper trap, and we'll have him stretch his left side here. In order to do so, we need to make sure to pull the shoulder down. I'll have him do so by sitting on his hand with his palm up. Now we'll have him sit up nice and tall to make sure that his posture is good so that we're pulling the muscle tissue here. With his right hand, I'll have him place it on his head here, and we'll pull from the top of the head, pull your right ear to your right shoulder. This will allow the upper trap to stretch from here to the neck, all the way down here to the shoulder, feeling the stretch right through here. We hold this stretch for 30 seconds to our tolerance, strong but comfortable, and relax. The next stretch that I had mentioned, the levator scap, can be stretched by simply starting in this position as well, sitting on the hand with your palm up at the side you're stretching, and I'm going to have him turn his head 45 degrees to the right. And with his right hand, I'll have him place his hand on the back of his head and go ahead and pull down toward the thigh while sitting up nice and tall, feeling the stretch through the levator scap right through here where we carry a lot of tension. Holding the stretch for 30 seconds again to your tolerance, strong but comfortable, and relax.